Well, hi. Thanks everyone for joining us. We're really excited that you guys could all make it to the call. And of course, for all of those of you who are watching this afterwards, thanks for being interested and watching the recording. So look, I'm Dr. Paul, and this is Dr. Laelle. We're both the owners of Brilliant Life Chiropractic, for those of you who don't know. And we're happy you joined us. We're really excited to share this information with you. We both and as chiropractors, I think we get hit with a lot of different claims, a lot of different health related news, and it can be challenging to sort of sift through that and see what's real and what's not, and what jives with our philosophy about health and wellness. And part of why we're so excited is that what we want to share with you tonight really does. And this information, this education, really has helped me even in the last 30 days. I don't have any particular health issues that I've noticed, and even then, I've noticed improvements in my health. I've noticed that I sleep better, and then on days where I don't even sleep better, like the next day, I'm not totally thrashed, which happens sometimes. But no, not in the last 30 days. It's been pretty phenomenal. The other thing that I've noticed as a chiropractor is that I've had chronic lower back issues for the last 20 years, and chiropractic keeps me going, keeps me in shape and all of that. But my pelvis has never been quite this stable. I haven't had this little pain for this long that I can remember. And this is really the only thing I've been doing differently. So I want to hand it over to Dr. Laelle now. She can share a little bit about her story and why she's excited about it too.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to see those of you who are out here and joined us tonight. As Dr. Paul was saying, we were really excited when we started hearing our good friend Sarah Harding, who I'll be introducing in a moment, sharing about NRF2 activation and increasing our body's own ability to produce glutathione and decreasing oxidative stress. These are all things that I've heard about and read about and looked into, like what I can do on my own. And I've been doing, a lot of the things. I've been eating mostly paleo for over 5 years. I, do get adjusted regularly, and all of these things have been amazing for my health. And there's still been some like persistent health challenges like that just have not fully cleared up, no matter how many times I do the Whole30 or how, or what other things that I've, been doing in my life. So I was super excited to hear about, one other thing that I could do to really activate my own body's healing potential from the inside out, which, as Dr. Paul was saying, is just so congruent with our chiropractic philosophy as well. And really in only just less than 30 days of taking the product we're going to share a little bit about after the educational piece in a bit. I've had this stubborn eczema on my fingers that really just, I don't know, been off and on for the last 10 years. And it just like fully disappeared. And I wasn't really expecting results quickly. I knew that the product worked from reading the research, but I still was like, okay, I'm sure that I'm not going to be one of those ones that actually like sees noticeable results like right away. And so I've been swimming in a pool with chlorine 5 times in the last week, and my hand still looks perfect. And last summer I didn't swim in the pool more than 3 times because it just kept it would get worse every time. So I'd have to take a break for about 6 weeks before I tried it again. So I'm just super excited and really glad you're all here to learn more about this topic and the product we have to share as well. And next, I'm really excited to again introduce my friend Sarah Harding, who is joining us. And we know each other from right here when she used to live here in Tacoma. I was the leader of our local chapter of Holistic Moms Network, which is all about connecting families interested in conscious parenting and holistic health and green living. And so she was interested in a lot of those same things and came out to a meeting or two. And then she had also started her own group locally called Natural Minded Mamas that she had kind of brought with her from where I don't remember where she moved from before. And so we both were, you know, kind of running similar groups, and she'd come to my meetings and I'd go to her meetings and gatherings. And we really just loved to like share about what we were finding out about and what we were researching about and what diet we were trying, and really just trying to be as healthy as we could be. So had anybody else introduced a product to me or started telling me like, hey, you might want to look at this, I honestly probably would have just totally ignored them. But like knowing that it was coming from Sarah, who now has a
oh no, frozen. Give it a, you're frozen. No.
she's super mom. I was just like totally.
Thanks, Laelle. I don't know what happened to the connection there. So I'm Sarah Harding. I am Crunchy Supermom. That's the name of my blog and brand and podcast. And like Laelle said, I've been on a natural health journey to do all the right things, to do all the right food and not use supplements. I'm completely skeptical of all supplements. I can usually find something wrong with the purest and the absolute best derived product out there. And that's why Paul and Laelle, I mean, I appreciate their perspective too, because nothing's ever good enough. Sorry, I'm a skeptic. So when I was introduced to NRF2 or NRF2 activation, I was slightly interested because I like the terms oxidative stress and lowering your inflammation, things like that. But ultimately, what got me to decide to try it was I do have a chronic condition called dysautonomia, and there is no known cure. And in fact, I have one of the types of it that's progressive, and it's supposed to get worse over the course of my life. And I had been told since I've been here in Louisiana for 2 years that I have about 10 years that I could expect to live a normal life. And after that, who knows, I could be wheelchair bound, or I was at an appointment for a pacemaker to keep my heart going strong and things like that. And so 4 years ago, I was struck with the symptoms of this illness when I was living in Tacoma. So Laelle and Paul knew what I was like before and what I was like when it hit me. And it's just kind of gotten worse over the years. And I was like, sure, I've got nothing to lose. I love trying things out. I love doing tests and writing scathing reviews, you know. So I'm going to introduce Sam and Ray in a second here. I told Sam, I'm like, hey, I really like you. I don't want this to wreck our friendship. I'm going to try this for 90 days, and I'm not going to try anything else with it. But when I get done, I'm going to tell you the results, and I'm expecting them to be really bad. I didn't tell her that, but in my mind, I'm thinking, hey, I got to warn her because I don't want to lose this awesome friend, right? So I said, I'll try them. And then I forgot about it. I just took it every day because I'm a very methodical person. That's my business, right? Teaching people how to do things on routine. So I took it, and 24-ish days into it, I realized I hadn't been taking a medication that I have had to take to keep myself from falling asleep. I don't have narcolepsy, but it's basically a medication that's for narcoleptics to keep myself from passing out unexpectedly, keeping me safe with my kids because I homeschool. And I was like, that's weird. I've been taking that for a year, and, you know, again, so I can drive and leave the house. And so then I really started paying attention to how I felt. And I don't know, 30 or so days into it, my vision got clear because for the last 4 years I've been living on a boat. So just jumping up and down constantly and things like that. And a lot of other things like nausea, no appetite, extreme fatigue, all these symptoms that I had dealt with just kind of fell away. And I wasn't paying attention. So it's not like psychosomatic, you know, you're thinking, oh, I'm taking this thing and now I'm starting to feel better. I was literally like, wait, what? What's going on here? Now I'm paying attention. So as soon as that happened, I'm like, okay, Sam, explain this to me now. I need to know the science because I'm ready to hear it. And so when that started happening, Laelle was one of the first people I told. I said, Laelle, I need you to help me debunk this because I'm starting to feel really, really good, but I'm not quite convinced that it's just this little herbal product that's, you know, not a supplement. So that's where we're at. And so I'm on a mission to educate other skeptics like myself about this activation versus supplementation because I really believe in it. I did not have to get a pacemaker. My doctor's totally confused, and he's looking at the research right now with me and in his limited time. And I'm, like I told Sam, I really believe by the end of this fall, I think he's going to have the full picture, and he's going to be like one of us, super excited about activation versus supplementation. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ray and Sam. And like I said, this is how I met Sam. Well, not really. We met in a homeschool group, but that's, something else. But they're both graduates of the United States Naval Academy, which is awesome because my husband's a Marine. Sam was also an active duty Marine Corps officer for 5 years, and she homeschools 3 kids, and that's just like me. And then she has a baby on the way in the winter. And Ray's active duty. He's a naval helicopter pilot. Did I get that? Okay, good. And they're both stationed in Virginia Beach. And with their busy schedules, they've spent the past 5 years studying and educating on this topic here, this health technology that we're about to share with you. And I'm excited to turn it over to them. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Can you hear me okay? Thank you so much. And Laelle and Paul, thank you. We're so proud of you guys and happy for you guys. Excited for everyone on this line as well to hear about, something that came into our lives 5 years ago. Like Sarah said, we're Ray and Sam. I'm Ray. She's Sam. And we're here in Virginia Beach. And like I said, we're a military family. And, when this found us 5 years ago, we were a young married couple, just one little baby at the time. And, we didn't have necessarily, a serious medical issue or anything like that. Never had any injuries or anything. However, we were both Division I athletes in college. Sam played soccer. I played lacrosse. We were very in tune with our bodies, very into fitness. And we were against putting any type of supplement or vitamin in our body, okay? And like I said, we weren't looking for something specific, but when this came to us and we understood what it was and did the due diligence, we knew that we wanted this in our body like yesterday, and we wanted to get this in as many bodies as possible because we knew how many people, we could help with this. And, 5 years later, we've been able to bless thousands of people's lives with this information. So we're going to talk about just that tonight here, guys. Activation and not supplementation, how it can affect your health and wellness. So you may notice, it's 2018, and it's kind of interesting that, the whole world, especially the United States, is, more educated than ever, more medicated than ever, and we have all this information. However, despite that, we still see, these crazy increases in diseases like autism, cancers, people who are allergic to everything. Why is that happening? We know now that there are 3 core reasons why this is happening and why it's affecting our health. And we're going to talk about each one of these tonight: oxidative stress and inflammation, mitochondrial dysfunction, and poor gut health. So, what is oxidative stress? If you're just hearing about it now for the first time, it is free radical damage to your cells, the very cells that make you who you are. Think about it this way. It's essentially rusting from the inside out. You take a bike and you put it outside in the rain. What's going to happen to it over time? It's going to rust due to the oxidation and the water, right? You take an apple, you cut it in half, leave it on your sink, 10 to 15 minutes, it's going to start getting brown, right? Well, the same thing's happening in our bodies, guys, because we're all aging and we're all breathing oxygen, okay? And, we can do some things to help mitigate some of that. We can eat right, we can cut out sugar, limit alcohol, eat whole foods. However, the environment and the whole world has changed a lot. And unfortunately, there's just so much that we can't control today. Whether it's, the EMF from your cell phone, radio waves, me as a pilot, I'm breathing jet fume all the time. Not good. Don't recommend it. But when you think about it, if you're driving a car down the highway, you're breathing in the exhaust from all the cars in front of you too. Microwaves. There are a lot of things out there that we just simply can't control. So why do we care about this then? Why do we care about oxidative stress? Is because there are, tens and hundreds of thousands of studies that relate oxidative stress to all of these things on the right side of your screen that you don't want. Whether it's, problems with your heart, hypertension, in the eyes, macular degeneration, you see diabetes, blood vessels, you see dysfunction in your immune system with chronic inflammation, IBS, rise of cancers. You're seeing neurological issues and Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, you name it, in the lungs, COPD. And all of these are tied to this, this free radical damage to our cells causing mutations, and which is caused by oxidative stress. So that's why we care about oxidative stress. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is mitochondrial dysfunction. Okay, what is it? Well, if you remember back to 8th grade biology, I vaguely remember it. but mitochondria, they are the powerhouse of our cells. And they take the food energy that we eat and they convert it into cellular energy, or ATP. Well, the bad news is as we age, our bodies start to produce less mitochondria, and also they start to dysfunction. And this is a serious problem because, the mitochondrial production slows down and the dysfunction goes up, but that dysfunction mitochondria cause all those mitochondria around it to also dysfunction. You have this rapid chain reaction. And when you couple that with the poor food we're eating, poor diets, and higher levels of oxidative stress, that's why we're seeing the rapid rise of diseases and illnesses like Parkinson's. It's in our family, Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancers, autism, all of these neurological diseases, that today with all the medication should be taken care of, right? But now we know that this is a root cause of all these. Then the last one we're going to talk about is gut health. Why is our gut health so important? Well, I recently learned this, but it's actually where our immune system is formed, which is crazy, but it's true. It's also where 70% of your neurotransmitters for your brain are formed. I know, it's kind of mind-blowing. And lately, I'm sure you've heard about the gut-brain connection, why it's so important. And really, it's because for decades we've been eating processed foods, doing other unhealthy things to our bodies, eating lots of sugars, things like that. And when you couple this with the other oxidative stress and the poor just nutrition in general, it's no wonder that we as a nation and really the world, but specifically here in the United States, we have a serious problem with poor gut health within the United States. So leaky gut is going to lead to a plethora of problems. You're going to see it, manifest itself in many different ways, depending on, the levels of oxidative stress in your body and the severity of it. It can manifest itself in acne in the skin. It could actually get back to your brain and affecting ADHD, anxiety, depression. You can see it even manifest itself in your joints with arthritis. Adrenal fatigue is a big one we're seeing, all the way through constipation, diarrhea, and irritable bowel syndrome within your gut. So, we're seeing a plethora of problems, all tied to these three core pillars of, now I hate to be the bearer of bad news saying, these are the three things that are really affecting people's poor health today. But Samantha's gonna take it over from here and give some of the good news. So it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll try to save this train from going off the track here. So guys, that was very eye-opening. People wonder all the time, why are we having such a population of people with disease on the rise? Cancer is literally 1 in 3. 1 in 50 children will get autism, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. These things are like foregone conclusions now in our society. Well, conventionally or traditionally, there have been a few solutions for the first problem, which is oxidative stress. One of the solutions was wait till the disease manifests from oxidative stress, whether it's cancer or Alzheimer's or diabetes, and then prescribe medication to dull those symptoms, okay? But in the past decade or so, the health gurus have been trying to supplement with antioxidants, things, super juicing or antioxidant vitamins and supplements, things like vitamin C, vitamin E, blueberries, acai berries, trying to get as much antioxidants into our body as possible. It is the right idea because we know that antioxidants do neutralize free radicals. The problem is it's just simply ineffective. We have trillions and trillions and trillions of free radicals bombarding our cells every single day, just like you see a fire, much like a fire. Our body is literally on fire with free radical damage. So when you supplement with antioxidants, direct antioxidants, like a vitamin C supplement or blueberries, you're literally only neutralizing free radicals on a 1-to-1 scale. It's not even making a dent, you're eliminating a few here and there. And we know, and we were seeing that. Actually, the research is showing more and more that vitamin supplementation is potentially causing more harm than good. And so what we also know in more recent history and in the medical research community is that there's actually a process, mechanisms within our body that allow your body to activate good genes, to upregulate good genes and downregulate bad genes. And specifically, we're talking about the NRF2 pathway. Now, when you can effectively activate NRF2 inside of your body, it can signal to your DNA to turn on good genes, especially the antioxidant genes in your body. It also turns on the anti-fibrotic genes for scar tissue repair, and it also turns on your anti-inflammatory genes for reducing that inflammation dramatically. But specifically, as far as neutralizing free radicals, NRF2 activation, when done effectively, is going to turn on your body's production of very key antioxidant enzymes, specifically catalase, glutathione, and superoxide dismutase, or SOD. Your body is now able to effectively eliminate free radicals on a scale of 1 million to 1. So when you have trillions upon trillions of free radicals damaging your cells, bombarding them, do you want to approach it with a 1-to-1 scale or a 1 million to 1 scale? And that's what we're talking about here. So it's much like your house is on fire. Are you going to choose to grab a Dixie cup of water and keep filling it up and pouring it on the house? Or are you going to call the fire department and have them unleash, a fire hose in every room of that house? It's very much a no-brainer. But I'd like to talk about what some of the independent research is saying about NRF2 activation. So Oregon State University here says that when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes that are responsible for cell repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant production, and other actions. In their report, the scientists called it a longevity assurance factor. That's all the assurance that I need that this is exactly what you need. Any one of those things individually would be great, but all of them together, this is how powerful the NRF2 pathway is. So Washington State University in this peer-reviewed paper concluded that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. Now, this is interesting because many people will say, well, I'm already healthy, so why do I need an NRF2 activator? Well, for prevention, okay? You want to stay healthy and maintain your health and lifespan, it's for prevention. If you are already experiencing maybe chronic illness or just general fatigue, or your body's breaking down, aches and pains, things that people are dealing with, then you want to use it more as a therapeutic strategy. And this paper shows that it is useful in both of those regards. So what we're talking about specifically is the #1 NRF2 activator on the planet. It is the only one, this is Protandim NRF2, it is the only NRF2 activator that currently is clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days in humans. So it combats cellular stress through NRF2 activation. And recently, the National Institute of Aging, they conducted a 17-year federally funded study to compare natural compounds to see if anything significantly extended lifespan. They compared things that many of you may already be taking or are very well, versed in, things like resveratrol, green tea, turmeric, fish oil. They tested all of these substances and found no increase in lifespan. They also tested Protandim NRF2, and they found a 7% increase in lifespan. So as of right now, this is the most effective NRF2 activator on the planet. And the best part is it's all natural. I'll get into the ingredients in a minute here, but NRF2 just helps to regulate your body's survival genes. It gets your body back into balance at a cellular level, reducing that oxidative stress and inflammation so your body can really start to heal itself from the inside out. This is by no means a miracle pill. This is not intended to treat, cure, prevent, or mitigate disease. It's allowing your body, once activated, to do the healing itself. So I want to just give you a brief storyline of how this product came to be and why we're sharing it in this avenue right now. Why you didn't hear about it maybe from your medical doctor, or why you didn't hear about it from a TV commercial, or why you're not seeing it, in stores like GNCs or vitamin shops or any whole food nutrition stores that you go to. So LifeVantage is the company that produces and developed Protandim. In 2003, they developed it, and they were just a biotech company. They were a research and development company out of Denver, Colorado. And what happened was, after their first clinical study on Protandim that proved it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, it caused a lot of buzz, and ABC Primetime News actually wanted to come in and investigate if this was real, if this was a real claim or not. They did that, and in 2005, they aired on national television the results of their investigative report, which were quite positive. They found an even more dramatic reduction in oxidative stress in half the time. So if you'd like to see that clip, I know Laelle and Paul could get you that clip, or you can just search on YouTube for it and you can see the results for yourself. But what happened from there was that independent universities and institutions all around the world caught wind of Protandim, and because they knew how significant oxidative stress was in disease progression, they wanted to study it in their own labs, and that's what they did. They launched and funded their own studies on Protandim. LifeVantage is a publicly traded company. It's on the NASDAQ, and so the board of directors got together to find out, well, what would be the best avenue to take this product to market? They tried GNC, they tried Vitamin Shop, they tried your typical online sales for a few years, from about 2005 to 2009. What they found was it was way too far ahead of its time. It's a breakthrough technology that has a lot of education to be done behind it. People need to have practical application with it to be able to share their experiences while pointing each other to the research. So what they found was that they needed to switch their models from regular retail to person-to-person distribution. So it was in 2010 that LifeVantage took Protandim completely off of the retail shelves and went into a network marketing model where independent distributors could use the product themselves. They could refer it to other people. They could educate each other. They could point to the research. They could show that ABC News report. That's what we've been doing for the past, well, Ray and I for the past 5 years, but LifeVantage has been doing it since 2010 in this model, and they've grown. We know that the message is getting out there and that it's impacting millions. I think about 1 million lives so far have been impacted by this technology, as the company grew from 0 to 200 million in sales off of one $40 bottle of Protandim. So we know that this is working. We know that we need more people to help share this education because people need to know that this is an option. Let me go next. Okay, so some of the independent universities that have studied Protandim, and you can find this research on PubMed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health. The reason that that is so significant is that typically natural supplements are not peer-reviewed, and they're certainly not published by the National Institute of Health on PubMed.gov. Protandim has now been published 24 times. So if you go to PubMed.gov right now, type in Protandim, you're going to find 24 studies, one from LSU with regard to melanoma. They found a dramatic reduction in the occurrence of melanoma when using Protandim. The American Heart Association published their first ever study on a natural product that goes out to cardiologists worldwide after they saw the results of the Ohio State University study, which showed a very positive result with Protandim in a human artery. There also were studies from Texas Tech with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, Harvard, University of Colorado, Denver. I could keep going on, and you can go to PubMed.gov and look at that peer-reviewed research. I highly recommend it if you're into looking at scientific studies, for sure. It's very fascinating information. This is a very interesting study because this was done by a pharmaceutical company, one of the leading pharmaceutical companies to produce a leading multiple sclerosis drug. The company is called Biogen, and they produce one of the leading MS drugs called Tecfidera. In this study, it's referred to as BG12. Now, they compared BG12, which is a NRF2 activator. It's a drug. It's a pharmaceutical that's a NRF2 activator. Just so you know, it's a $50,000 price tag per year for that drug, and very rarely covered under insurance. And they compared it to our $40 bottle of Protandim, which is also a NRF2 activator. And these were the results of their own study. They said, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. So very interesting to find that the results of a leading pharmaceutical company compared their own product to our natural product, and ours was found to be more effective. So I want to talk about the synergy that happens in Protandim, because many people will say they'll take a look at the 5 ingredients of Protandim, which are milk thistle, turmeric, bacopa, ashwagandha, and green tea. Many people will say, I already take those extracts. That's great. You're on the right track. The problem is the body cannot effectively utilize those individual ingredients on their own. Typically, when you take extracts, you're taking, a couple 100 milligrams up to maybe 1,000 milligrams. Your body just can't process it in that way. What Protandim is Protandim is each of the individual ingredients is a very, very low dosage, much lower than you would find in an individual extract. And it's combined together, there's synergy that makes each of those ingredients 18 times more effective in the body. And it also creates that NRF2 activation. And that is what is patented with Protandim. Typically, a natural product is not patented because you can't really patent herbs. But it's the synergy here that's been proven. You can actually look at this peer-reviewed study on PubMed.gov if you want to go look at that chart after and verify this. So the glutathione assay is very interesting as well. I know this was one of the things that caught Sarah Harding's eye, and it also caught Laelle's eye about the glutathione production. Many people are aware of how important glutathione is in the body. We know that in neurological diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, glutathione is typically very depleted, especially in our children with autism. Glutathione production is very low. Even if you're somebody who is maybe into physical fitness, you know that the way that your muscles recover is highly due to your glutathione production. So if we can find a way to increase that, you're going to have a lot of benefit. Problem is that supplementing with glutathione or injections with glutathione are just not nearly as effective as if when the body can produce its own. Protandim is proven to increase the body's own natural production of glutathione by 300%. Again, this is one of the peer-reviewed studies on PubMed that you can go reference afterward and take a look at those charts. So guys, we talked very extensively about NRF2 activation because that is the single most important thing that you can start doing for your health across the board. When you lower that oxidative stress, lower that inflammation, turn on your antioxidant factory, your body is going to improve itself over time in ways that and make improvements that you haven't seen from anything else. However, if there's an NRF2 pathway, there's likely the NRF1 pathway, and what we know now is that the NRF1 pathway is responsible for mitochondrial repair. And so LifeVantage then later developed, more recently developed, the NRF1 activator, which increases cellular energy, or ATP. It improves your performance through energy production. It enhances cellular health, so that cells are functioning at their peak performance. It improves sleep quality and promotes cellular repair. This is so important because we have a society plagued by poor sleep, and poor sleep we know leads to many other long-term bad side effects. So when you are activating your NRF2 and activating your NRF1, your quality of sleep, first of all, you're able to get to sleep right away. Then you have that deep REM sleep where your body is repairing itself. So that is so critical. The NRF1 activator also boosts mitochondria production and their ability to network, and it slows cellular aging by supporting chromosome integrity. So tremendous benefits when you combine NRF2 and NRF1 activation at the same time. So the third aspect that we talked about is that gut health. And I know that most people by now know that to combat gut health or to help, poor gut health, and to help your gut and your intestines be more healthy, you need to restore that good bacteria in your intestines. And most people by now are taking a probiotic supplement. They're drinking their kombucha. They're doing all the right things. Again, one of the issues or reasons that it's not super effective, what most people are doing, is because the acid in our stomachs is so caustic that most of the good bacteria that we are trying to get down into our intestines is just being completely obliterated by the stomach acid. The formulation of this specific probiotic, it's called Physique ProBio. It has a special formulation it's called BioTract, which encapsulates the good bacteria, and it delivers 60%. There's a 60% survival rate with this probiotic bacteria into your small and large intestines where it needs to go. Most on the market are only delivering 4% of that bacteria, which is why they're virtually ineffective. I would just say try this, and I'm pretty sure within a few days you're going to notice that this is working. I'll kind of just leave it there. But many other benefits, as Ray already talked about, when you have a well-performing gut, things like your anxiety is lifted, things like your skin clearing, just generally feeling better. The dopamine is actually and serotonin are produced in your gut, so you're going to actually feel better, happier when your gut is working well. So guys, at this point, there's really 3 recommended options if you're looking to, partake in these products and get yourself activated rather than supplementing. And we do mean, this is in place of vitamins and supplements. This would be your new regimen, basically. There's a really awesome option, which is kind of the most recommended. That's called the Vitality Stack. The Vitality Stack includes those 3 areas that we talked about: the Protandim Nerf2 activation, the Protandim NRF1 activation, the probiotic, and then it also includes our Omega Plus fish oil, which is the highest quality on the market. You can actually trace the bottle of our Omega Plus all the way to the boat that caught the fish, and you'll know how fresh and the quality of this because you can actually bite into this capsule and it's not going to taste anything like fish. It's actually delicious. So you know that the quality is so good. But that's a great option if you're looking to go for the whole kind of full insurance plan, as I like to call it, kind of tackling all those areas at once. But the next best option that I like to recommend is the Activated Essentials, because it gives you sort of that trifecta. The gut health, the mitochondrial health, and the reduction of oxidative stress and inflammation all at once. And that's $125 for a month's supply. And then at the very, very least, the single most vital thing that you can do for your health every single day for the rest of your life is to take Protandim NRF2, to activate that NRF2 pathway every single day, to do it in a natural way that has no side effects and is going to allow your body to work better and perform better and recover faster. Now, I want to just quickly highlight the fact that there are applications of NRF2 for your skin. What they realized was that with that LSU study with melanoma and Protandim, they realized, wow, there is a serious need here to develop a topical version of this technology. That's what they did. They took the 5 herbs of Protandim, they put it into a skincare formulation, and now there's a 4-part skincare system that actually allows the cells of your skin to heal themselves, to regenerate themselves. And so the anti-aging benefits are amazing, but even the healing of the skin itself, for things like burns, sunburns, or any sort of issues that you're dealing with in the skin, this is an amazing option and very well priced as far as high-end skincare lines go. The last thing that I want to touch on is this Axio Smart Energy. Now, initially when this was developed, we all kind of balked a little bit because we know that we are a very scientific forward company. We know that we are committed to things that are completely natural and only the best things to be put in our body. Well, Axio, while it is labeled as an energy drink, a smart alternative to an energy drink, it actually is a brain drink. It is a Nerf2 activator for your brain. The ingredients are amazing. There's B vitamins, methylated B vitamins. There's green tea, quercetin, L-theanine, DMAE, things that are just incredible flavonoids for your brain. And what we're noticing is that this is having a real impact on people's focus, their mental clarity, even in children. This is a sample here of our good friend who's a chiropractor as well. This is his nephew who suffers from autism, and his specialist had to share this with his mother because he realized that one week on the left-hand side was his handwriting, and you see the groupings are pretty spaced out and kind of a little bit all over the place. And then a week later, his formations of letters are so tight and focused. And so the specialist asked his mom, what are you doing differently? And she said, well, he's been taking this NRF2 activator, Protandim, and also drinking every day one of these Axio drinks. And so what we're seeing is that it's just kind of flipping the switch. It's kind of turning the lights back on in the brain and allowing you to have that focused, clear energy. I know I used to drink about 4 or 5 cups of black, strong coffee every day. And not that I'm saying coffee's bad or anything like that, but I now drink one of these a day, one Axio a day, and I feel like I have all the energy I need, no jitters, no crash, there's no sugar in this. I'm focused. People report they feel motivated. And that's kind of the difference here rather than just giving you a stimulation. So definitely take a look at that. I know it's been one of Sarah and Laelle's favorite things that was a little bit unexpected, but it's a very awesome product. So guys, at this point, you may be in a couple of different categories. You might have looked at this information and said, wow, that was a lot. I just need to go back, do my own research, want to look around. That's great. Paul and Laelle, of course, are highly qualified to share with you all the resources that you would want to see. If you're on Facebook, we have a Facebook group where we share a lot more education, a lot more people's stories and experiences with these products, as well as, all of the new research that's coming out daily, and videos we have over 850 medical professionals that are LifeVantage distributors because of what this is doing for people in their practices, people in their families, and we have videos of them sharing what this is doing in their circles. If you are ready to get started and start activating your body to experience these benefits and have the best prevention plan going forward, it's very easy to become a preferred customer. In fact, our preferred customers get to receive the same wholesale rate that we do as distributors. So you don't have to join any business or anything just to get the discount. You can simply, set up, your monthly shipment, can turn it off anytime, cancel. There's no memberships or minimum requirements. You just get to order the products as you want them and get them at the wholesale rate. So definitely get back with Paul and Laelle if that's of interest to you. But if you're thinking about other people right now, if you're saying, yes, I absolutely want to get activated, but I want my sister, my aunt, my uncle, my friend, my colleagues, I want them all to know about this as well. You might want to talk to Sarah or to Paul and Laelle about the option of getting your own website with LifeVantage like we all have and becoming a distributor, whether you want to do, kind of just share it casually, share it professionally, or do whatever, it's a great option as well to consider. So thank you so much. That covers all of our information tonight. We're so excited that we could be here with you tonight. And we are just going to pass it back over to Paul and Laelle to wrap up. But thank you all for being here.
All right. Thank you so much, Ray and Sam, for being here with us tonight and sharing all of this amazing knowledge and expertise with all of our friends and family and patients and everybody here with us. It was amazing. We really appreciate it. It was awesome. And just thanks to all of you that were able to be here on the call with us tonight and for taking time out of what we know are crazy busy summer schedules and all the fun in the sun that's happening out there. We just really appreciate you being here and listening to this information, and want you to know that we're here for if you need help placing an order or just have questions or need studies or videos or just need more information. We're happy to supply that too. Just let us know what you need. Do you want to say anything?
That covered it. Thanks again to everybody for showing up. I don't get excited about a lot of things, but this is something I'm excited about. So thanks for hearing it. Thank you.